Did you know that the founder of Pringles requested to be buried in a Pringles can? Frederick John Bauer, the inventor of the iconic Pringles can, is an American organic chemist and food storage scientist, renowned for designing and patenting the Pringles packaging. When Bauer died on May 4, 2008 after battling with Alzheimer's disease, he made a request in his will. He asked that some of his ashes be buried inside one of the Pringles can. He made this request because he was proud of his creation, and believed it was an iconic part of his life's work. Bauer's children said they honored his request to bury him in one of the cans by placing part of his cremated remains in an original flavor Pringles container in his grave in suburban Springfield Township. The rest of his remains were placed in an urn buried along with the can, with some placed in another urn and given to one of Bauer's grandchildren. Did you know that there's an animal that can live forever? The jellyfish named Turritopsis dohrnii is the only species known to be biologically immortal. These small, transparent creatures have a remarkable ability to revert to an earlier stage of their life cycle, effectively turning back time. The Turritopsis dohrnii, also known as the immortal jellyfish, possesses an extraordinary ability to revert its cells to an earlier stage in its life cycle. When faced with stress, damage, or aging, it can transform back into a polyp form, essentially hitting the biological reset button. This remarkable process allows it to avoid death from old age. Despite its remarkable ability to revert to an earlier life cycle stage, it can still die due to predation, disease, or environmental factors, indicating that its biological immortality is primarily about avoiding death from old age. Did you know that some lipsticks contain fish scales? Yes, some lipsticks do contain fish scales, specifically a substance called pearl essence or pearlescence. This silvery material, found in fish scales, primarily from herring, is used to give lipsticks and other cosmetic products a shimmering effect. Pearl essence is derived from the guanine crystals found in fish scales, which reflect light and create a shimmering effect. This ingredient has been used in cosmetics for many years to add a pearly sheen to products like lipsticks, nail polishes, and eyeshadows. Cosmetic companies are shifting to synthetic alternatives due to ethical and sustainability concerns, aiming to mimic shimmering effects without animal-derived ingredients and meet the growing demand for vegan and cruelty-free beauty products. Did you know that dunce cap used to be a sign of intelligence? The dunce cap actually started as a symbol of intelligence. It was associated with the followers of John Duns Scotus, a Scottish philosopher and theologian from the 13th century. Scotus believed that the pointed shape of the hat would help funnel knowledge into the wearer's mind. His followers, known as duncemen, wore these caps as a mark of their scholarly status. However, over time, as the ideas of Scotus fell out of favor during the Renaissance, the term dunce became a derogatory term for someone considered slow or foolish. By the 19th and early 20th centuries, the dunce cap had evolved into a tool for punishment in schools. Students who were considered misbehaving were made to wear the cap and stand in the corner as a form of public humiliation. Today, the dunce cap, often used in popular culture as a symbol of foolishness or ignorance, serves as a reminder of past educational practices. Did you know that China only has one time zone? Despite its vast size, China operates on a single time zone known as China Standard Time, or CST, which is 8 hours ahead of Coordinated Universal Time. This means that the entire country, from the eastern cities like Shanghai and Beijing, to the western regions like Xinjiang, follows the same clock time. Historically, China had 5 time zones until 1949, when the government decided to unify the country under one time zone. This can lead to some interesting situations, especially in the western parts of China, where the sun can rise and set much later, compared to the eastern regions. This means when it's already 6 a.m. in the eastern region, the western region is still dark. Additionally, in Xinjiang, the local Uyghur population often uses an unofficial time zone called Xinjiang time, which is 2 hours behind CST. This helps them align their daily activities more closely. Did you know that strawberry aren't berry? Despite its name, the strawberry isn't a true berry. Neither the raspberry or the blackberry. In botanical terms, berry plants consist of three distinct fleshy layers. Exocarp, the outer skin that serves protection. Mesocarp, the fleshy middle inside the fruit. And endocarp, the innermost part that holds the seeds. The fruit must have just one ovary, and berries, as we know, like strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries, have more than one ovary. As a result, botanists consider fruits like strawberries a pseudocarp. The difference is in the way the fruit comes from a single flower that has more than one ovary. For this reason, they're actually called aggregate fruits. So, what are berries? Berries include blueberries, bananas, avocados, and kiwi, as these are fleshy fruits that come from one flower with one ovary. Did you know that identical twins don't have the same fingerprints? The chances of two people having the same fingerprint are said to be less than 1 in 64 billion. Using such odds, scientists estimate that more than 1 million years would pass before two people with identical fingerprints coincidentally appeared. Even identical twins with identical DNA sequences and similar appearances have slightly different fingerprints due to genetic and environmental factors during womb development, affecting fingerprint development. Fingerprints are formed between 13 and 19 weeks of fetal development, with the details of whorls, ridges, and loops influenced by factors like umbilical cord length, womb position, blood pressure, nutrition, and finger growth rate, which can become more noticeable after birth due to weight and height differences. Despite shared DNA, identical twins' fingerprints tend to be more similar than those of strangers. Forensic experts and advanced recognition software can still detect differences. Did you know that wearing a necktie can reduce blood flow to the brain? If neckties are a regular part of your wardrobe, it's a good idea to ensure they're not too tight. There is evidence to suggest that wearing a necktie can reduce blood flow to the brain. A study published in the journal Neuroradiology in 2018 found that tightening a necktie can decrease cerebral blood flow by up to 7.5%. This is likely due to the pressure the tie exerts on the neck, which can compress blood vessels and reduce blood flow to the brain. This reduction is generally not enough to cause noticeable symptoms in healthy individuals, but it might cause temporary issues like dizziness or headaches. Other studies have linked tight neckties to increased intraocular pressure, potentially increasing the risk of glaucoma. Others suggests that neckties can serve as a breeding ground for bacteria and other pathogens, potentially contributing to the spread of infections. Did you know that Japan have sushi-inspired Kit Kat? The Sushi Kit Kat is a unique creation by Nestlé Japan that combines the flavors of sushi with the beloved Kit Kat chocolate. Sushi Kit Kat introduced initially as an April Fool's Day in 2016, and it became so popular that it was later released as a limited-time treat. The Sushi Kit Kat set typically includes 3 varieties. First is Maguro, tuna. This version is topped with a raspberry-flavored Kit Kat, mimicking the taste of tuna. Second is Uni, sea urchin. This made with a slice of seaweed wrapped around a Hokkaido melon, with mascarpone cheese-flavored Kit Kat. And third is Tamago, egg, featuring a banana-flavored Kit Kat with a sliver of nori seaweed. Each piece is crafted to resemble sushi, with a base of puffed rice coated in white chocolate and a hint of wasabi powder. They are even wrapped in bamboo leaves, encouraging you to eat them with 2 fingers, just like real sushi. Did you know that OMG was first used in a letter to Winston Churchill? The popular phrase OMG, which is the abbreviation for oh my god, does not have its origins in modern-day chat rooms, but was first used in 1917 in a letter to future British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, who was then an officer in the army on that year. Then British Admiral John Arbuthnot Fisher originally penned the acronym in a letter to Churchill to express his excitement and urgency of the military matter. The letter mentioned, utterly upsetting, in a World War I newspaper headlines. He wrote, "I hear that a new order of knighthood is on the tapis, OMG shower it on the Admiralty." The phrase OMG has been inserted into the Oxford English Dictionary, while it is ordinarily used to deliver a message of shock and embarrassment, a feeling of enthusiasm and repugnance for something in talk.